Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a manifestation law of attraction hypnosis session. And some of you will be aware that I've got mixed feelings about this idea of law of attraction. Part of me absolutely believes that if you set an intention and you activate a belief in your ability to do it, that frees up the resources to create these self-fulfilling prophecies. But at the same time, I'm not a big believer that if you just write down an affirmation or write down, a thing that you want, like Santa's Christmas list, that magic and the universe is going to make it happen. I'm a big believer that the reason that manifestation and law of attraction works is because what you do with that intention after you've made the intention, rather than just being passive in the process. And the client I was working with had that kind of perception, that they wanted a wonderful home and they were willing to work hard to get that wonderful home. And this is future pacing to the home that they would want, and knowing that the hard work and the value they create for the world is what leads to that beautiful home. And I think that's a really powerful belief system. When it comes to wealth, I have two core beliefs as to how you get wealthy. Actually three, but one of them isn't that empowering. So one of them is you just get lucky, and some people do get lucky, but let's just say that luck is something you can't influence beyond believing that you're lucky. Then the two things that you can influence is how much value you create for the world. And the more value you create for the world, then normally the more you get paid. And that could be a musician or an entertainer creating value for the world by making people smile and feel good. Or it could be a road sweeper that makes value for the world by keeping the streets clean. But you get paid in proportion to the value that you create. But the second way is that you take on risk. And a lot of people don't consider that as a way to get wealthy. But if you bought Bitcoin in 2012, you've not really created a lot more value for the world, but you've become very wealthy because you were willing to risk your capital at that particular point in time. And this particular client, wanted this dream home, but they didn't want to just receive it as a result of a lottery win, which would be luck, or as a result of kind of good fortune. They wanted to work hard to get it. And actually, I think most people value things more if they've either created value, worked hard, or taken on some risk, because then it feels, that you've earned it or taken on the value in that sense. So I think if you want to get the best out of this value, best value from this session, I would say think of what a dream home would be for you. It doesn't have to be something you own. It could be something that you're renting. But I think even if you're renting it, believing that you have the income required to have that dream home is quite a good intention as well. And if you are curious to learn more about how the psychology can impact your ability to become wealthy, I've actually created a course called Hypnotic Wealth. It's got around about 40, 50 hours worth of content in there, lots of hypnosis, but lots of kind of belief systems and things that deal with risk and fears, all in this course. And there's a link to that in the show notes that you can check out as well. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release. Like tension is melting away and leaving your body in that outward breath. As you breathe in deeper than the previous breath. But this time, imagine breathing in a wonderful feeling of relaxation and optimism. As you allow it to go in through your nose into your lungs, feel your body extracting that relaxation, that feeling of optimism. And again, allow any tension to leave your body as you exhale. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. Each and every time you exhale, feel like you're letting go of the world around you. Feel yourself sinking into the surface beneath you. Like your body's getting heavier and lighter at exactly the same time. As if you're floating and yet sinking and feeling deeply grounded. With every breath, imagine stepping further away from any distractions and closer to a calm, quiet sanctuary within your mind. A place where all your dreams are possible. So breathe in and breathe out. And as you listen to my voice, let it guide you gently into a state of relaxation, deeper and deeper. And you might notice your eyelids feeling heavier, or a pleasant warmth spreading through your body, as if you've already arrived at a place of comfort, safety, and tranquility. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine standing at the edge of a beautiful garden. And maybe this garden represents your future. Lush, vibrant, and full of possibilities. And maybe you can imagine different pathways within this garden. Each path leads to a vision of your dream home. And as you walk forwards, feel a growing sense of excitement and possibility. One of the paths leads to a golden door. Imagine effortlessly opening that door, perhaps revealing the first chapter of your transformation. As you know and accept that this is your sanctuary, your place of change, the place where every sale, every effort, and every inspired action comes to life. I want you to imagine walking back through the garden, and as you do, notice the sturdy, new side wall of your home. A wall that feels strong and dependable, just like the foundation you are building in your life. And maybe you get a sense that investing in this wall prevents future challenges. How every brick represents a decision made with wisdom, care, and purpose. Imagine this strong wall complete and feel a deep sense of security, knowing that your home is protected. Allow the wall to represent anything you're building, anything that feels like it's getting stronger. This wall isn't a wall, it's an investment, perhaps a reflection of your commitment to yourself and your future. And start to imagine your ideal home, no longer focused on the wall. Think of the entrance to this ideal home, the entrance you've always dreamed of. Anything that represents dissatisfaction, real or metaphorical, is gone. Broken fences, things in need of repair, replaced perhaps by a white wall and a charming gate, inviting you in. And on the inside, maybe the wall is adorned with mirrors, reflecting the beauty of your surroundings and your life. Maybe you can imagine the smell of a plant. Maybe the smell of jasmine fills the air with a fragrant welcome. Or maybe you could imagine white, soft fairy lights twinkling like stars, illuminating what you can and cannot see. I want you to get a sense that the entrance gives you the perfect view of your courtyard. And maybe you can see a pergola, maybe entwined with flowers, almost glowing with a white brightness. Maybe you can see a daybed, a place to relax outside. Imagine the perfect views as perhaps you imagine relaxing there in the courtyard, there on that place to lounge and relax, taking in perfect views. Maybe you could imagine that this courtyard is paved with beige sandstone, bordered by blooming pink flowers. Take a moment to enjoy this, feeling that your home has a strong wall, a beautiful courtyard, and an inviting entrance. I want you to feel a sense of joy in advance of having created something so beautiful. Think back to what it took to create this. Each sale, each new client, each day and week of hard work have contributed to this moment. And then maybe imagine the backyard courtyard. Start to see a transformation unfolding there too. Contrast the difference between how things have been or could have been with what they now are in your vivid imagination. Perhaps imagine an old timber deck being replaced with something solid and enduring. That retaining walls stand strong, supporting lush greenery. Maybe imagine a high hedge that gives you the privacy you've always wanted. Consider this a serene space. Maybe see another white wall, also with mirrors, this time on the outside rather than the inside, reflecting light and space. Another pergola, also covered with beautiful flowers, and maybe a space to entertain, like a barbecue area. I want you to get a sense that this space feels like a European cottage garden, a sanctuary for creativity and inspiration. And maybe you can already imagine yourself here, enjoying quiet moments or lively gatherings, feeling completely at home. So step back inside that entrance, but this time make your way to the kitchen. Perhaps you can imagine timeless, white, provincial cabinetry, marble countertops gleaming under soft lighting. This is also a space where you feel inspired, a place where everything flows effortlessly, just like the successes that you've built. And then imagine seeing the bathrooms. Serene, elegant, perhaps with mosaic marble tiles, the right kind of furniture, accessories. Imagine every detail is just as you've imagined. And being here fills you with immense pride and satisfaction. And as you take in these beautiful spaces, realize that every sale you make contributes to this vision, that the work you're doing now creates this future. No need to take on debt. Allow your work to give you the rewards. Every deal is meaningful, purposeful, an investment in your biggest tax-free asset, your home. The money you spend grows more money, just as your efforts multiply your success. And when this home becomes a reality, maybe that unlocks more inspiration, motivation, that leads to even greater success. Every improvement you make adds beauty and value to your life. And with each commission, you feel a renewed sense of drive and passion, eager to find even more ways to grow your income. Imagine the very near future where your business is thriving effortlessly. The right team surrounds you, valued, motivated, and perfectly aligned with your goals. And together, you create record results, building momentum and joy with every success. Imagine happy clients, and with their happiness spreading, they tell their friends, and your reputation grows stronger every day through word of mouth. You're known for bringing great profits and value to your clients, and that same prosperity flows back to you. Following that karmic law, the more value you create, the more value you receive. And now, imagine yourself 1 year from today. Imagine coming home after a day of work to this sanctuary that you've created. Everything is as you've envisioned. The front courtyard, the back garden, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the bedroom, exactly as you would want it. Every space radiates beauty and purpose, a reflection of your hard work and vision. You feel deeply fulfilled, knowing that you built this not only with your hands but with your heart, your intention, and your unstoppable drive. And as you relax and enjoy this space, imagine a wave of gratitude washing over you. You feel worthy of all you've accomplished, but also excited for what's next, and confident that the money to make it all happen will continue to flow easily, naturally, joyfully. Before you leave this home, I want you to stare into one of those mirrors, either inside or outside, and see the qualities in you that made it all possible. As you see those qualities in the reflection, you realize that you are awakening them and amplifying them now to create a self-fulfilling prophecy where your future starts now. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect fully into the here and now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake. Wide awake. Wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.